Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's short lesson, I want us to talk about point switching, a very common concept over the board. I'm going to give you 4 useful rules on when to apply point switching. So let's get started. Now, how would you choose to play double 5 here as white? Now, the correct move is to shift from the 6 point to the ace point, putting 2 of green's checkers on the bar. Now, the reason for this is because of the gammon increase. So if we choose not to hit, then we are only likely to win 45% gammons. But with the point switching play, that goes up to almost 60%, as we can see on the panel on the left. Now, of course, with green's blot in the outfield, we can then play on for 2 good. Green is going to struggle to re-enter those 2 checkers back into our home board. In the meantime, we can bring checkers down from the mid, or we can advance them from the back to try to pick up a 3rd checker. So here, the point switching play simply puts us in a very strong position, increases our gammons, and this is the first rule. Particularly useful at even away scores where gammons are more valuable. We're looking for these point switches to put more checkers of our opponent on the bar. And here we can see another example of rule 1 where we shift 2 points. We move the 4 point and the 3 point to put 2 of green's checkers on the bar. And once again, we can see that puts us in a very strong position as white to play on and pick up green's 3rd checker in the outfield. So anything else besides the double point switch here would be a significant blunder. Let's move on to rule number 2. So how would you play double 1 here as white? Now, the correct move here is to shift from a 17 to the 15 point to block double 6s for our opponent. And anything besides that would be a big mistake. Now here, when we are down in the race or the race is close, we do not want to give our opponent the advantage of the double 6 joker. So it's a good idea in scenarios where we are down in the race to block big rolls. Now here, once green has cleared that blot on his bar point, a lot of rolls with 6, besides double 6, that's 10 rolls, are all going to leave shots in the outfield for us to pick up. And of course, with our own strong home board as white, we are in a perfect position to wait a moment, use the 2 spares on our 8 point, and hope green runs out of timing, exposes himself in the outfield, and allows ourselves to turn the game around. And you can see we have still good winning opportunities because of that likelihood. So here, when behind, block the double 6. Now, of course, if we were ahead, then it would be the wrong idea, because then we would need to clear the point sooner and we would more likely expose blots ourselves. So blocking double 6s is usually only right when down in the race. Let's look at rule number 3. So here, how would you choose to play 4-1 as white? So again, we are down in the race, so the hit is mandatory, and green has a blot as well in their home board. But then the 1 seems counterintuitive, because here we shift from the 5 point to the 4 point. And by doing that, we give ourselves a lot more covering numbers, because our 11 point connects directly to the 5 point. So that therefore, by making this shifting play, we would have 6s to cover. In fact, by making the correct play, we would have 29 covering numbers, because we would have direct 6s, 3s, 1s, and also double 2s and double 4s from the mid. So pretty much almost every roll covers in this scenario. So it seems in many ways counterintuitive to break the 5 point. We're all told of the value of a 5 point, but these point shifting plays can be very powerful to generate more shots. This is something you can play around with. You can see what would happen, for example, by playing the second play, 8 to 4, 6 to 5, and how that would drastically reduce the number of covering numbers. So rule number 3, give yourself more covering numbers when point switching. And this is another example of rule number 3. White has a 3-1 to play. So here, for the reasons explained before, it's right to make the point switch and make the 2 point, resulting in the position you see on the top right. And there we have 2 of green's blots on the bar and an increase in gammons. And again, this is correct because we have a lot more numbers to cover. We also have doubles, which would allow us to cover as well. So you can calculate the shots, and it's a good exercise to leave 6s as a direct covering number. So these are easy to miss over the board, sliding checkers in our home board, but the benefits are huge because 2 or 4 extra rolls to cover could be significant in keeping our opponent on the bar, closing our home board, and then winning more games and gammons. And at this score, 4 away, with a cube turned, the gammon would win the match. So these point shifting plays are crucial. Let's look at the 4th rule. So how would you choose to play 2-1 here as white? So the correct play here is to shift from the 4 point to the 1 point, picking up green's blot on the way. Now here it looks almost automatic to make the anchor in green's home board because green has a very threatening front structure with 12 checkers in the zone ready to attack. But because of that attacking structure, that's why it's correct to make the point switch, because we are taking initiative. Here we cannot let green have the whole roll to hit us, improve his front position even further, trap us behind a prime, or even escape with the back checker. So by making the point switch 4 to 2, 2 to 1, we steal half of green's roll. And unless green rolls a double, he's going to be unlikely to enter that checker and build his front structure. So this is another reason why the point switching is good, to create momentum and to hopefully turn the game around. Our winning percentage increases by 3 or 4% by making the tempo hit here. So I hope you enjoyed my 4 rules on when to make point switching. So the first one is put more checkers on the bar to increase gammons, which again is very useful when you are at even away scores and gammons are more valuable. Number 2, when you're behind in the race, try to block the double 6 joker by shifting a point. Rule number 3, make small shifts in your home board to give yourself more covering numbers to keep your opponent on the bar and close your home board faster. And rule number 4, tempo hit your opponent when they have a threatening front structure and are looking to develop. Break their roll, give them only half of it so they can't do good things. So there we are. I hope you found that useful. If you did, please like and subscribe. Check out my other videos. check out my videos with Grandmasters, Dirk Sheeman, Zdeněk Ziska, Will Snelling, and see you next Wednesday. All the best. Goodbye.